Welcome back. Let's get to the latest transfer news now. We've been joined on set by Mark Macadam. Mark, a very good afternoon to you. We've got to start with the breaking news that we brought everyone at the top of this hour that's coming out of Everton. What can you tell us? Yeah, Nolan, Eric Booman, the youngster who has arrived from Aston Villa. He's an England under-19, England under-20 international, so very much one for the future. And I think this gives you an indication as to the type of signings that Everton will be making over the course of this summer. Young, hungry players that they can develop and sell on and make a huge profit on. He signed a 3-year deal at Everton, so he's going to be there for some time and had a loan spell at Queen's Park Rangers back in the 22-23 season, so he's got experience in the EFL as well. But it shows Sean Dyche trying to recruit young, exciting players to Everton. Of course, you've got the new stadium on the horizon as well, so some young, exciting players could be just the tonic. Because we know that there are challenges with regards to PSR at Everton. They're going to have to be very creative and clever over the course of this summer. And of course, we know that there is that deadline of June 30th where the new financial year will reset. So any potential business that gets done before that could help in offsetting any problems they may have down the line. And you've got a number of clubs that are currently in that same situation as Everton at the moment. But the fact they've got a player in nice and early will be seen as a massive positive. Yeah, really positive news for Everton and Everton fans. And there could be more good news for Everton fans as well on the way. Yeah, Jack Harrison, a player that Everton fans will know very well. Of course, he was there on loan last season from Leeds. He's a player that offers so much, really, and a player that Sean Dyche knows, which is important. We know he can score in the Premier League. You can see it there. He's a really good, cultured midfielder who offers so much as well out wide, and his work rate is absolutely fantastic. We know he's got a contract at Leeds until the summer of 2028. But because Leeds didn't gain promotion to the Premier League last season, it means that he is potentially available on loan. Hence why Everton have gone back for the same man that it had on loan to say, we'll take you back on loan again. It would suit Everton because financially, there's no outlay other than wages and a small loan fee. And of course, will help with their PSR. This is a deal that we're expecting to get done in the next 48 hours. So only a matter of time before Jack Harrison from Leeds to Everton gets confirmed again. Okay, let's talk about Michael Olise because Chelsea looks like they've missed out on the Crystal Palace forward. What can you tell us? What is the very latest? Yeah, this is a fascinating situation, isn't it? A player that's coveted so much interest over the course of the last couple of years. You go back to last summer and there were a number of sides interested in taking Michael Olise, one of them being Chelsea, who were also interested this summer. Now, in August 2023, he signed a 4-year contract at Crystal Palace. He had a release clause, we understand, to be £35 million. But he decided to stick with Palace, continue his development. One of the quotes I find quite fascinating and one I'll pick out was Steve Parish said, "We believe he's got a bright future. We can help him move to another level." That level is one of the biggest institutions in world football because we understand that Bayern Munich are leading the chase at this stage to get the signature of Michael Olise. We understand that personal terms have all but been agreed and we understand there to be a release clause in his Crystal Palace contract. Not the £35 million that existed last summer. This is a new release clause which potentially could be around £50 million. So it'd still be some significant investment from Bayern Munich, but they're going to get a player that has huge quality. Just 22 years old, joined Crystal Palace in the summer of 2021. The situation with his stats and numbers is really positive as well. This is the situation per 90 minutes for Crystal Palace last season. You can see 19 games, 14 starts, 1,277 minutes played in the English top flight, and that equates to some really positive numbers when you compare him to other Premier League players. You can see on the right-hand side of that graphic the Premier League rank, and this is per 90 minutes. You can see 0.7 goals a game, assists quite significant as well because it's essentially 1 assist in every 2 games, which puts him 5th in the Premier League rankings. You can see shots, big chances created, take-ons, crosses attempted. He is right up there with the Premier League's sharpest and best. And I think the fact that he's in his early 20s as well shows you how much progression there is still to go. He's a player that's going to improve, he's going to get better, and there's no question that potentially he could fit right in at Bayern Munich. Big shout out to Reading as well, who of course played a massive part in his development, and the EFL side going through their own traumatic times at the moment. But yeah, exciting to see what happens. We know that Newcastle were interested, we know that City, Manchester United had discussed Olise, we know that Chelsea were very much at the table, but it's our understanding that Michael Olise has opted at this stage to potentially head to Bayern Munich, which would be absolutely huge and an opportunity to link up with Harry Kane, Eric Dier, a couple of players he'll know from Premier League football. So yeah, brilliant situation there, one to keep an eye on. We're expecting developments over the coming days. Okay, so Chelsea missing out there, but more positive news elsewhere in London. What is the very latest coming out of West Ham? Yeah, so this is another interesting one. The Wolves captain, 27-year-old Max Kiemann, is the primary #1 centre-back target for Julian Lopetegui at West Ham. Of course, we know new manager into East London and potentially linking up with a former player as well. This is a player that he'll know very well because he managed him at Wolves as well. So yeah, that's a key part of this deal. Interestingly, he signed a 5-year contract last summer at Wolves, and it's our understanding that West Ham's initial bid of £25 million has been rejected. However, it's expected they will go in with a second offer, trying to meet the gap between what West Ham value him at and what Wolves value him at. Of course, he's the captain, he's a key player, he's an important figure in that dressing room, so Wolves won't want to lose him. We know that last summer they were under a lot of pressure financially to try and meet their PSR commitments and not go over the threshold and therefore suffer a points deduction. This summer, it's a very different story financially. The house is in a much better place, so therefore they're under no pressure to sell, obviously one of their key players.